Good afternoon. No, it's past afternoon. Wait, what time is it? Good afternoon. Yeah, it is 1:13. I don't know what time it is. I've been up since 3. I'd fallen asleep watching TV, and it was one of those times where I decided to just stay up and get some other stuff done. So that kind of worked a little bit. But greetings, everyone. This is Minister Patricia, and happy Sunday. Happy beginning of the new week. And this is our time for the weekly live. And someone asked me a little while ago, they're like, what time do you do those? And when I do them. But I am doing them every weekend. In fact, this week I started to do it earlier. I started to do it Thursday, and then I thought about doing it Friday, like during lunch. So there will be some times like that, but my window is from Thursday to Sunday, and right now it's kind of falling on Sundays with pretty regular, the regularity there. Um, so yeah, so I also just got some news about a family friend who's also a family member. We never did quite figure it out, but my great uncle said that we were related, and so he had no reason to make that up. And I've researched the family tree and found like their oldest relative, but I hadn't been able to make the connection with ours. So we know we are. We just haven't figured it out yet. But nevertheless, we grew up together in church, and um, and I found out that she passed, and so my condolences are going out. It's People are already posting about it, so I don't feel like I'm saying anything out of place here. But her name is Yolanda Griffin, and she sang like an angel. She had just the most beautiful voice from childhood. When we were little, we were in the youth choir, and there was a song that she and I and another girl sang. We sang the lead on as a trio, and we saw then, and we were older than she. She's 3 years younger, so we were probably about 11. Um, so she was eight-ish, somewhere in there, and she just took that song and ran with it, and just had the most beautiful voice. And then a few years later, we did My Liberty by Yolanda Adams and Southeast, and she led it and did the fool out of that. So she was one that could sing like Yolanda, sing like Whitney, uh, everybody, just the most beautiful voice. And so we're gonna really miss that voice here in the earth realm. um Way too young to have passed, even though we're getting older and all that kind of stuff. But I guess she hadn't made 55 yet, I don't believe. I think she's 53, 54 years old, something like that. So a little too young, in my opinion, to be bouncing up out of here. But we know that she's rejoicing. We know that she's singing like she never sung before, and she was already singing like an angel. So we're definitely gonna miss her. And I mentioned that I did their tree. I worked on their family tree to find a connection with mine, and I'm using that as a segue into today's message, which a list for when life starts lifing. And I want to encourage you to make this list for yourself and to stick with it. And that list is to come up with 10 to 20 things that are your go-tos for joy. We can call it a joy list, we can call it a happiness list, but things that bring you joy, things that bring you happiness. You want to make a list of those things so that when life starts lifing, then you can go to your list and say, okay, I'm going to do number 1. I'm going to do number 5 from my list today, or whatever those are. And so genealogy is one of my things that bring me joy and bring me happiness. And I'm hoping, I hadn't done it in a while, so I'm hoping when I go back in there that I'll have some more information, that some new things have come to light for that tree, so I can make that connection. I would really love to, especially in light of what's going on now. I would really love to be able to make that connection. So yes, so genealogy is one of the ones on my list. So what you'll want to do, hey Angie, my beautiful cousin, good to see you on there. Tell everybody hello. And back to the list. So genealogy is one of mine that I like to do. It brings me joy. And for your list, so 10 to 20 things that you can just and put them in your phone or somewhere that you're going to see them somewhere. So use your notes app in your phone or something, so that, when it's like, it's all cringy and stuff, you can be like, okay, I'm going to do that. And for this list, it's not a bucket list. It's not a wish list. It's stuff you can actually do. So don't put, go see the Mona Lisa in the Louvre unless you already live over there and can kind of get there pretty easily. That would be a bucket list item unless you live, in Paris or somewhere within train's distance or something of getting there to be able to go see that. So it's not that kind of a list. It is a simple list of things that make you happy. And in that list, we don't want to compound the problem. So you don't want to do something that's going to drive you into more mess. Either make the problem you're already having worse or create new problems. So it's not that kind of list either. And it could be corny stuff. You might be 60 years old and like cartoons. Watch your cartoons. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So it could be like that, cartoons. It could be doing some type of maybe board games. It could be crossword puzzles like that come in the Sunday paper type thing. It can be that kind of thing, or some other type puzzles. It can be, like I said, one of mine is genealogy, so I'm thinking about other things that I did. Walking, believe it or not, I like walking to like calm my nerves kind of situation. I don't necessarily walk for exercise. People will stop me and be like, why are you walking? You don't need to walk, And actually I do. I get the exercise out of it. But really what it does is it brings me peace. So that's another way you can call this list. It can be your peace list. So things that bring you peace, things that bring you joy, things that make you happy. What else could it be? It could be a dish that you like to eat, your favorite dish. But again, you don't want to compound the problem. So if you're like trying to eat good or whatever, then you don't want to do too bad with that. Maybe just a little bit, and do some in moderation type things. What else can be on this list? And I'm still working on mine. And you don't have to stop at 20. I have about 11 on mine, and I was going to go to 20, and I may still do that. But you can go to 100 if you want to, because here's the thing. You need some stuff to get your mind right, to get you back on track, to get your joy back right, and all of those things. So what are some other things that could be done? Just things that bring you joy. And again, it could be corny, it could be jokes. Y'all know I like to share the jokes. So laughing at some jokes, I like doing that. What else? Sleeping. It's like sleeping in, if you have an opportunity to sleep in or take a nap. Like I said, I've been up since 3, so I'm gonna try to stay woke through the end of this broadcast here. So maybe sleeping is a thing. Again, a favorite dish, or when I was growing up, we used to do the cool cups. Some places called them cold cups, and what else did they call? They had another name for them too. But that Kool-Aid, when you put it in the cup and freeze it, and then once it's frozen, you lick it a little bit so it'll loosen up a little bit. And then once you get it loose, you can pull it out. You have to be careful. You don't want to drop it on the ground, because there go your cool cup. Especially if you had bought it, from the cool cup lady. You didn't make it yourself. now you out your money if you drop that thing on the ground. And then of course some kids would be like, God bless it, devil miss it, or something kind of foolishness like that. So yeah, but yeah, something like that. And like I said, you lick it a little bit to loosen the cup a little bit, then you take it out and flip it, and then you have it sitting up in your cup like an ice cream cone, and you can do that. I'm being silly on purpose, because that's the kind of thing that you want to do when you are trying to get your joy and your peace and all of those things back on track. So you can make a cool cup if that's something that brings you joy. And then, like when I was little, they put a whole lot of sugar in that thing, so it would be syrupy when and it was good too. So, or pickle. So yeah, go back to the childhood stuff and think about stuff that brought you joy then. But a big pickle with you take a peppermint stick and put in there, or what are those candies? Oh shoot, it's a little hard candy. And the green ones and red ones. It's not the now laters. It's, I don't know. Is somebody gonna tell me? Anyway, you can put the candy in your little pickle and eat that. And what else? So those are food things, but yeah, y'all get the idea. You get the general idea. So have a list. Make your list, especially if you're in a good state. You know, make your list, and then when things happen, you get bad news, or just life starts lifing, then you go to your little trusty list and say, okay, today I'm going to do, and then you pick one and do that, and it'll help you get back on track. And what else I want to say? Oh, don't wait till life starts lifing. Do this stuff all the time. So when life starts lifing, you can be like, really? You ain't come around here with that stuff. So do it all the time. So get your list together and maybe do some things weekly, or you know, in the weekend, like my weekend is coming, so I'm gonna make my cool cup or something like that. So yeah, so do it all the time, and that way you don't have to recover so much. You'll have more of a steady flow. Dancing is another one that I like. So yeah. So yeah, who else? Somebody just Jolly Ranchers. Thank you, cousin. I'm like, I got the hard candy all in there, messing my teeth up. I couldn't think of what it was, but yeah. So yeah, we used to like to put those in our pickles. I don't know if y'all did that too, but yeah. So y'all get the idea. And thanks, cousin, for helping me out there. And I'm going to stop now before I fall asleep doing this. But I pray you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, a wonderful rest of your day. There's still some time in this day. If you want to go out and do something from the list, make the list if you don't have one already, or don't already have some things in mind, and go do something from that. And yeah, just have a great week. So I'll cover you, Angie. Thank you for coming. So I'll cover you in the precious blood of Jesus, your beautiful girls and your grandbabies, all in the blood of Jesus, all of the family. I cover y'all in the blood. And then those who may see this later, I cover your week in the blood as well. Y'all have a wonderful week. Don't let the devil get in your head and mess with your mind and trip you out and all kinds of stuff. Have your list together and do stuff from your list. So y'all be blessed. Love you guys. Bye-bye.